right, we have a senior advocate of Nigeria, Adeboro Adamson, joining us now for more on the developments in Plateau State there. Thank you so much for joining us on News Night tonight. Well, the question of the legality or otherwise of what's going on in Plateau State, where the IGP seals all 17 local government secretariats. Help us understand, first off, the foundation for this decision on the part of the IGP. Is it legally backed, or is it an illegality being fostered in Plateau State?
In the first place, the issue of the governor of a state truncating the tenure of the chairman and councillors of a local government or local governments in a state is an aberration. It's unconstitutional. It's against the tenet and spirit of Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution. So to this extent, whatever is laid on that foundation will crumble. You cannot put something on nothing. Now, if the governor has no constitutional right to truncate the tenure of a chairman or a councillor of a local government in the state, then where would the IG derive his power to do what he's doing? So, and this issue has been lingering on in Nigeria. The Supreme Court has had the opportunity of pronouncing on it on several occasions. So if you look at it critically, you discover that what the governor is doing and the IG, absolutely against the tenets of the law, against our constitution. And to this extent, it's condemnable.
Okay, if it's against the constitution and condemnable, back up a little. A few days ago, just on Monday, it was June 12, we were celebrating Democracy Day. Today is June 15, just a few days ago, and we're still in the euphoria of a new administration. And this in Plateau State. What's happening to our democracy?
Well, nothing is happening to our democracy. Our democracy is developing. In every society, there's what we call developmental stages. And to this extent, we are continuing to develop. But it's regrettable that the elected governor of Plateau State is behaving in manner in which he's behaving. He should have known by now that what is this action is contrary to the pronouncement of the Supreme Court on this particular matter. And again, it's against the Constitution. If you are relying on the state law, the provision of Section 1, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution is clear.
What's the pronouncement?
What does it say?
And to this extent, is saying that, look, if your state law is at variance with the provision of the Constitution, to the extent of his consistency, it's not avoid. So if you are making a provision in your state to say that, oh, you can truncate the administration of a local government, democratically put in place, to that extent, your law is in concern with the provision of the Constitution, and it's not avoid.
So now that this has happened, because according to the governor of the state, I mean, these people were removed over allegations of misappropriation of funds. And the IGP, well, according to the Commissioner of Police in the state, says, look, we cannot fold our arms while things degenerate. What exactly would have been the options to bring back some semblance of sanity in that situation?
The allegation is that the local government chairman could not account for the money generated and the expenditure of the local government in the area council.
Right.
Now, the issue is this. Is that enough to truncate a democratically elected local government council? No. That is no. There are other options open to you.
And those options are what we want to know.
First of all, if there is an allegation of embezzlement, who is the appropriate body or authority to prove that? Is it the local government? Is it the councillors? Is it the state government? Or is it what we have like ICPC or the EFCC?
Okay.
Who themselves are subject of suspicion. I mean, it is a very complex situation.
No, the issue is who guides the guide. guide the guide.
That's the point.
And that's what we are seeing in Nigeria, which is playing out.
Right.
Now, yesterday, or day before yesterday, the chairman of FCC was like a figurehead, a very big masquerade that nobody can touch. But today, we have read the news that is in the custody of the DSS.
Now tell us.
So that is what is good for democracy.
Right.
That nobody is supreme. What is only supreme is the sovereignty of the nation itself, the constitution itself, and not individual. And that's what we see playing. So if you have problem in a state, in a local government, there are hierarchy of procedure. There are hierarchy in the procedure.
Absolutely.
Of what you employ to correct the anomalies.
Okay, now let's talk about correcting the anomalies. You mentioned earlier that there was a subsisting court judgment on this matter. Tell us about that judgment and who should be enforcing that judgment?
Yes, thank you very much. That's a very valid question, and which had been anticipating our minds, agitating our mind in so many ways. One, the Supreme Court in the case of Ajuwon against Governor of Oyo State clearly stated that a democratically elected local government council tenure cannot be truncated. But the court did not say more than that.
Right.
That's just a policy statement that this is the position of the law. But what is the penalty? That if, as a governor, you truncate a democratically elected local government council, now what is the implication? Now, to my mind, the Supreme Court should have gone further to state that this is a coup against local government. Now, as soon as a governor truncates the term of a local government chairman, then that amounts to a coup. And what follows? Now, if you breach the law, there must be remedy. So if a governor has done that, there must be remedy to that effect.
What kind of
and the remedy is clear.
Yeah.
That if a governor has violated the provision of the Constitution in this area, then the governor can be subjected to impeachment.
So are you saying that it's the governor of Plateau State that should be enforcing the subsisting court judgment in this matter?
The judgment of court in Nigeria can be enforced by everybody.
In this matter,
In this
Plateau
particular
State,
matter.
Yes.
who should be enforcing
The governor
court
has a
judgment?
responsibility of obeying the court order.
That's it.
The Supreme Court has said it. Then you have no option than to obey the Supreme Court decision.
One of the statements made by the President Bola Tinubu, is that the rule of law will be upheld at every level. How does this really place this government happening at this time? What should the government be doing? What should
It's
President
unfortunate.
Tinubu be doing?
It's
at this
unfortunate,
point?
but I don't want to dichotomize
this kind of situation.
I don't want to dichotomize parties divisions.
Right.
That PDP or APC or whatever. But we have to be concerted in our effort to make Nigeria great and Nigeria great again.
Absolutely.
Now, if that is the issue, now, if we are playing democracy, or all of us we have been praying for a good democratic governance in Nigeria. Now, we have all of us, we have a responsibility to ensure that we survive and we succeed. So, President Tinubu is coming with good agenda, with good intention, but he must be supported by all the governors, irrespective of the party line division. So it is vital for us to have concerted effort to make democracy thrive in Nigeria. So not that somebody is having a good intention and another person is having a different intention.
And that is where the rule of law comes in. Without that, I mean, how much democracy really can you lay claims to?
The rule of law must be played at the federal, state, and the local government level. If President Tinubu tomorrow wakes up to say he's dissolving the government of Plateau State, how will you feel? How will you feel? It's just like what he has done, what the governor of Plateau State has done to the local government. So if the president tomorrow wakes up and says, Plateau State government, you cannot do this, cannot do that, or we find this in you, and decide to dissolve it and declare a state of emergency and appoint an administrator. So how will you feel?
It's a good place to leave it. I'm sure they'll be chewing on that. We thank you so much,
Thank you very much.
For joining us. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Adeboro Adamson.
Thank you very much.